induction or magnetic induction or simply magnetic field intensity, which is represented by the letter V, and it is a vector quantity. Just like we had electric field and hence electric field intensity or strength of electric field, we have the magnetic field strength or magnetic induction. And around the charge there is an electric field, and the strength of the electric field can be measured. Similar to that, we have, say, the magnet, and around the magnet there will be a region where the magnetic force is being felt. How it is felt? If you bring another magnet near to this particular magnet or in a space surrounded by the first magnet, then if the second magnet experiences some magnetic force, then such a space around a magnet is called as magnetic field. And the strength of the magnetic field can be measured as magnetic induction or magnetic field intensity. And in this class, we will define the magnetic induction and what are the units of magnetic induction. In the first class itself, that is introduction class, I think I explained a little regarding the magnetic field, electric field and all. And for 1 mark, a question may be asked to define magnetic field intensity. And how to define the magnetic field intensity, that we will consider in this particular class. As I told, we have the magnetic field is nothing but the space around the magnet and where the magnetic force is felt. Similarly, around a current carrying conductor, if there is a conductor and if current flows there, around the conductor also there will be magnetic field. That also we studied in the last class. And in this space, what is the strength of the magnetic field, magnetic induction, and then how the magnetic lines of force are explained. So all these we will study in this particular class. So here, suppose you have a space or a region like this. Suppose you have a region. Then if you have the magnetic lines of force, lines of force as we explained in the case of electric field, it is the locus of the point where isolated north pole moves in the magnetic field. So that is nothing but magnetic line of force. And we represent it in case of a magnet like this. If you have north pole, south pole, then always the magnetic lines of force will be directed from north pole to south pole. Like these are magnetic lines of forces. Then magnetic lines of force, suppose, are passing through a particular area like this. Then they are passing through the area like this. Then we have these magnetic lines of force, and always the magnetic field B, the direction of magnetic field will be given by the tangent drawn to the magnetic line of force at that particular point. Even it is clear here. So suppose we have the magnetic line of force here, and then at this point we have the strength of the magnetic field, say B, and then what is the direction of the magnetic field? So we have to draw a tangent to the line. So then this is the direction of the magnetic field intensity or magnetic induction. And then we have a term called as magnetic flux. What is a magnetic flux? Magnetic flux is the amount of magnetic lines of force passing through a particular area. If you have the area like this, then the amount of magnetic lines of force passing through this particular the force experienced by a current carrying conductor which is kept in a magnetic field. We have the expression for the force experienced by a current carrying conductor which is kept in the magnetic field. So we have the derivation then. What is the expression for the force which is experienced by the current carrying conductor kept in the magnetic field? So already we discussed that. So that is what. So if you have the magnetic field direction like this, B, and then if a conductor is kept like this is the current carrying conductor making an angle of theta here. And then if I is the current, B is the magnetic field, if L is the length of the conductor, then what expression we have for the force experienced by the conductor? So we have the force given by F is equal to the magnitude of the force is nothing but B I L sin theta. This is the expression that we have for the force which is experienced by the current carrying conductor which is kept in the magnetic field. Then by making use of this particular expression, we will define the magnetic field intensity or magnetic inductance. So for that purpose, let us consider conductor is kept perpendicular to the magnetic field. That is, the length of the conductor L will be perpendicular to magnetic field. If current carrying conductor is kept perpendicular to the direction, then what is theta? Theta equal to 90 degree. So then this implies what? Theta equal to 90 degree, sin 90, then you will have the maximum force experienced by the conductor. So therefore, then what you have? F will be F maximum then. That will be equal to B into I into L. Then this is the expression for maximum force. Now we have to define B. So this is our intention to define B. So what to do here? You consider conductor of length 1 unit. That is unit length. 1 unit length, and say current I equal to 1 ampere. That is unit current 1 ampere. Then what is F maximum? In the above expression, we have F maximum is equal to B, which is nothing but magnetic field intensity or magnetic induction. Thus, by applying these conditions in this particular expression, we can define B. Then how can you define B? So what is B then? Or what is magnetic induction? Magnetic induction is the maximum force experienced by a conductor of unit length carrying unit current kept perpendicular to the direction of the magnetic field. So this is the definition. One more. What is magnetic induction? So magnetic induction is defined as the maximum force experienced by a conductor of unit length carrying a current of 1 ampere kept at right angles to the direction of the magnetic field. So this is the definition. So that's all we should know about this magnetic induction and magnetic definition. So then units of magnetic flux. You know, unit of magnetic flux, unit of magnetic flux. Magnetic flux, the unit is Weber. Naturally, magnetic induction is nothing but we have magnetic induction, we have magnetic induction. We have the magnetic induction is nothing but shaped wire, and suppose it is having say n number of turns or more number of turns, then it becomes a coil. So if it is a rectangular coil or if it is a square, so we will consider the current which is flowing to the coil, and if that coil carrying current is kept, suppose we have the coil of this shape, so there will be a number of turns in it, there will be a number of turns in it. When this particular coil is kept in a magnetic field, if there is a magnetic field in the region, and if you keep the current carrying coil in that magnetic field, then that particular coil will experience force, and because of the force it will experience a torque, and rotating effect will be caused, and that rotating effect will be proportional to the current which is flowing to the coil. And on the basis of this principle, the DC current meters will work. To measure the DC current, to measure the steady current, this particular principle is used. What is that principle? Current carrying coil kept in the magnetic field experiences a force. So this principle will be made use of in the measurement of steady current, or in the DC current meter. This particular principle will be made use of. And now very important derivation, that is torque experience. Torque experience by current loop in magnetic field. In magnetic field. This is the important derivation. For that purpose, you should know what is Fleming's left hand rule. You have to recall it. Similarly, you know the expression for force experienced by a current carrying conductor kept in the magnetic field. That also we should know. So let us consider the coil carrying current and the direction of the magnetic field. Suppose you have this particular coil having n number of turns. We will show the single term now. Okay, here we have, let us give the name like, so this will be the axis U, V will be the axis, then we have the P, Q, R, S will be the coil, and then say the current flows in this particular direction, I comes like this. It is shown here in 4 arms. The current will be coming like this. It is anti-clockwise as it is shown in different arms we can see. And then say the breadth of the coil is represented by B. This is the breadth of the coil. Then say L is the length. L is the length of the coil. You can say this arm and this arm. Here we have. So then, when this is kept in the magnetic field, we will show the direction of the magnetic field. Say here. So this will be the magnetic field direction B. Show here also. See, B is here. Direction of magnetic field. Then, so this is the coil. Now let us consider a coil which is carrying the current of I with its plane. Say this is the plane of the coil, you know. BIL sin theta. BIL sin theta. This is the general expression. General expression for the force experienced by a conductor. It is a straight conductor kept in the magnetic field. So here we have to get the force experienced by this particular arm first, and then what is the force experienced by this particular arm, that is RS, and then what is the force experienced by QR and SP. So separately we have to consider the force according to this particular formula. So first of all, let us find what is the force experienced by the arm PQ. What is the force experienced by the arm PQ? So force experienced by PQ. Let us represent it by F1. F1. The magnitude only we will be writing there. So F1. So what is that? Force experienced by PQ. So PQ is perpendicular to B. It is kept. Therefore, what is theta here? So theta will be equal to 90 degree. Here we have theta equal to 90 degree. So then current is I, length of the conductor is L, B is the magnetic field. So therefore what is that? F will be equal to, F is nothing but F1 will take here. That will be equal to B into I into L. Therefore here F1 is equal to, what is that? B I L. What is the direction? What is the direction? So direction, in order to find the direction of this particular force experienced by the arm PQ, we have to use Fleming's left hand rule. So what is that Fleming's left hand rule? Let's apply. So you know here F Fleming's left hand rule. You know the current is coming like this. So then you know Fleming's left hand rule. You have to stretch the three fingers of the left hand like this in mutually perpendicular directions. Always central finger showing the direction of current, fourth finger in the direction of the field, magnetic field, and movement or the force will be in the direction of the thumb. Then how can we apply it? You know, current in downward direction. So I will hold like this. See, this is true. So current in the direction of the central finger, as it is shown here. Field is in this direction, direction of fourth finger. Then movement of the force will be in this particular direction. That is towards the observer. Towards the observer, perpendicular to the plane of the board or plane of the paper, and it is towards the observer. So F1 will be in this particular direction, or it will be forward. I will show the direction like this. So F1. So F1 direction is like this. So this is F1. So it will be this particular arm will be experiencing a force towards the ring like this. Suppose we have like this. Suppose this is the arm. Suppose this one is the arm. Then it will be experiencing a force like this. So this will be towards front. So F1. So direction. So this will be F1 is equal to BIL. Direction is towards observer. Okay, now force experienced by RS. Let us obtain this. What is the force experienced by RS? You know the current is in this direction, upward direction. Magnetic field is in the same direction. What is the force experienced? You have to apply once again the Fleming's left hand rule. Current is in upward direction. Current is in upward direction. So then what is that? See, I have to hold like this. Here, fourth finger, field, central finger. See, upwards. Current is upwards. You can see here. So we have to hold like this. So what is this? Central finger showing the direction of the current, upward direction. Fourth finger in the direction of field. Then you can see main finger is away from the observer, perpendicular to the board and away from the go back. That means the force will be like this. So I will show here. So this will be the direction of F2. It is away from the observer. So F1, F2. So like this. So what is the force experienced? So let us write it. Force experienced by the side iris. So that will be equal to, we take it as F2. That is equal to what is this? What is the magnitude? Once again apply this formula. Theta is 90 degree only. Theta is 90 degree only, and F1 equal to BIL. Only direction is changed. Only the direction is changed. So the F2 also magnitude will be same. BIL. So therefore here what you have, F2 is equal to BIL away from the observer. Away from observer. Away from observer. So this is the magnitude of F2. Equation, we can show it by the equation, or it is not needed. So we have F2 is equal to BIL. And once again here we can show the direction like this. Always if you show the direction like this, say if you mark like this, this indicates the direction of the force. Always towards the observer is marked by this particular symbol, dot, and here away will be marked by this particular symbol. So this is away from the observer. So magnetic directions are marked in that way. So then next is, what are the force experienced by this PS and QR? Let us see. You can see first of all PS. If you consider what is this, or you first you consider this one QR. So what is the direction of, or how it is kept? So QR, what is the angle made? So here what is that magnetic field? Magnetic field direction is this, and the direction of current in this particular arm is also in the same direction. So then what is theta for QR? For QR, theta equal to 0 degree. So QR, it is having the current is in the same direction as the magnetic field. Therefore, current angle between I and this one L. So L in the sense breadth. It will give you the breadth of the conductor. The breadth. So L in this particular case will become breadth for this particular arm. So in that case it will be B. So angle between B and this B and B will be what? So that will be 0. So this angle will be 0. So then F is equal to what? This F will be equal to what? F will be 0. So since theta is the angle between the conductor and the magnetic field, since it is 0, we have force experienced by QR is 0. That means what? It will not experience any force. Similarly, what is the force experienced by PS when it is kept in the magnetic field? So what is it? It is in opposite direction here. Current is in opposite direction. Anyhow, if you take that also as if you consider it as 0 or 180 degree, then also theta sin theta becomes 0. Therefore, the PS experience no force. Therefore, these two arms will not experience any force. So therefore, here PS and QR will not experience force. Okay. Then it is known that only two arms, PQ and QS, are experiencing the force. into what is the perpendicular distance between the two arms? That means lines of action are these arms. What is the perpendicular distance between them? That is nothing but the breadth. Therefore, BIL into B. So torque is equal to what? BIL into B. That is magnitude of the force multiplied by the perpendicular distance. So we have torque experienced by the current loop. We call it as the wire or current loop. That is given by tau. That is equal to BIL into B. That's all. BIL into B. Then this is nothing but this is equal to BI into A. BIA. Why? Because we have L into B, breadth into length. That is nothing but the area. Area of the current loop. So therefore BI into A. Then if there are n turns, if there are n turns, in the coil. So this is the coil here. If there are n number of turns, number of turns. So how many turns are there? In a coil means there will be a number of turns. So one square constitutes one loop. So therefore in one arm, suppose there are n number of turns, say 100 or 1000 like that. So then if there are n number of turns, then what is tau? Tau is equal to n times BIA. So this is the torque acting on the current loop having n number of turns. So very important relation here. So torque acting, this torque acting will be equal to n BIA. it is in the plane of the coil. When the coil or the current loop is in the plane of the magnetic field, so then area vector is perpendicular. So then we have phi equal to 90 degree. If phi equal to 90 degree, then sin phi, so this will be NI. That's all. So therefore, this is the general expression for the torque which is experienced. So this is very important relation. We have obtained the expression for torque experienced by a current loop kept in the magnetic field. So just to summarize, we have to consider the coil like this: length, breadth, magnetic field direction. Current is like this in this direction. So then current in this particular arm PQ. Apply force acting on the current carrying conductor. F is equal to BAL sin theta. For this particular theta equal to 90 degree. Therefore F1 equal to BAL, and the direction of F1 is given by Fleming's left hand rule. So it is like this: current downward direction, fourth finger giving the force like this. Then F1 is the BAL. Similarly, force on RS also will be equal to BAL in opposite direction. So directions are marked. So two equal and opposite forces acting on the two opposite arms will constitute a couple, and the torque is given by force into perpendicular distance. So BAL multiplied by the breadth. So then we have BIL into A. Here we have BIL into B here, and L into B is nothing but area. So BIL